Yo, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of Wealthy Hours, where the wealth of knowledge is power.
Yes.
We rocking today. We got another special episode ready for you guys. You already know to my right is the man that's always keep it tight, my boy Cadero.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's going on? And the man, and my man to the left, man, not only is this a great friend, this is a brother. This is somebody I've been blessed to have in my corner. My brother, Mr. Greg Gates.
What's poppin'?
Greg Gates.
What's going on, brother?
Man, it's great. I'm out here in Dallas, man. It's dope.
You out here in Dallas, man,
Yeah.
and you be all over the world.
All the time.
Man, I called my brother showing me views from Vegas. I called my brother, he in the A, then he in Houston, man, you everywhere. So, man, what I wanted to do for the people today, because I know when we're talking about wealthy hours and we're bringing, for the most part, we're talking about trading, we're talking about investing, we're talking about all those things. I wanted to show the audience and the family today a different side of how you can accumulate wealth. Not just from trading, but from another aspect. So let's just kick it off, bro. Just give the people a little bit about your story. Who is Mr. Gates?
Well, first off, thank you for allowing me to be here, tell my story.
Pleasure's ours.
Started out, I'm just a little kid from Fort Walton Beach, Florida, man. I just work really hard and, been through some trials and tribulations and, I came out on top and I'm just the story of like anybody can do this, there's no excuse. There's no excuse that can be made that there's no obstacle you can't overcome. And, I'm a testament to, like second chances. You can make mistakes, come back from them. There's no time limit. There's no stamp, no date on when you can succeed in life. It's all up to you. And the main thing is, I'm a firm believer in, having that self-belief like that. Like I'm not sure, are you familiar with David Goggins?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Goggins is one of those guys. It's like I kind of have a similar story in a way. And, like I definitely was where Goggins was a long time ago. I was kind of in that similar place. And like, so I understand his story a lot because, especially like when you don't have this like deep support system that you can like fall back on and do certain things. And, you don't have male guidance. You don't have male mentors and male, positive male friends, or you do, or it's very minor, you can still come out and succeed. And, also like I like him because he's just brutally honest about like his pain, his damage, his issues, and who he is. So like that story is very similar, just more definitely from a super hood kid's perspective.
So even with that, because I just heard you say some key things there, not having that positive not having that positive male role model, in your life, coming from very humble beginnings where there wasn't enough and you're just trying to figure it out. You don't have any guidance. You don't have anything where you can look forward to and look up to. What was the pinnacle of that point where Mr. Gates says, okay, man, I gotta do something? Like where did it start out from there? And like tell us, like, was it successful? Was it not successful? How did you get to the next thing and to the next thing?
So, just growing up, my father died when I was really young. He died right before my 4th birthday. And he got passed away, got murdered. And then, some street stuff. And bro, like my whole life, like I've always, like as a kid, like my whole life, I just had this feeling like, I always was gonna be somebody, I just didn't know what. But it's funny, like this shit started for me. Excuse me, can I cuss?
We can edit it out, bro.
Okay,
it's
well,
cool.
okay,
You want us to ask the director?
Yeah.
So can we go full transparency on there?
Okay.
We want to go full expression.
I need to know, right?
All right, so we're gonna go full expression.
Yeah,
we ain't gonna censor it out.
I was about 16. It was crazy. I was like 16. I just woke up one morning and I was like, I gotta do something with myself. Like I gotta do something. Like I had it. Like the blessing with me is when my father passed away when I was 4. The one thing I saw more than anything in this world was hardworking Black people. So all this nonsense about how black people, oh, we always on welfare. No, my mama, I was never on welfare a day in my life. My mom had me at 16. When she was 16, had to stop what she was doing, stop school, start working, had to go back get her GED later on. But all I saw was hardworking black people. My grandfather was he owned a vegetable stand on the side of the road, bro. Like from what I've been told, like he was a sharecropper. He was on the sharecropping farm. He took the risk, left the sharecropping farm, was selling vegetables on the side of the road. And my earliest memory is my grandfather, my grandmother, my dad's mom and dad was me lifting up his watermelons and helping him in his fruit stand. So they had me working early, and they had me working, and my grandfather would pay me. And I never understood the importance of that until I got older. And I was like, you know what? My whole life, my grandfather started me out like, and we weren't like really, really close. He's one of them old, big man, had hands like, you know, big ass, like a Andre the Giant. He wasn't big,
big country man.
Overall,
yeah, that's how my grandfather was.
Used to chew that nasty red man chewing tobacco, and my grandma used to do dental stuff. Stuff like the dental stuff that come in the little things. She used to spit. I'm like, why is my grandma always had a can? My granddaddy he smoked these little nasty cigars, had a big old belt buckle on, like country, right? But I'm at 4, and my earliest memory is me moving watermelons, literally, of me moving watermelons on his fruit stand, and then the granddaddy was gonna pay you for your work. And it never clicked with me, like how many people were like not even doing what I was doing at that age, but like you see these third world countries where these kids are like, they working, they getting up in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, go getting the water from the well and having to carry it back a mile, 2 miles. Like that's a real thing. Like I grew up with that. I watched my grandmother and my mom and everybody work at I think I want to say it's the Ramada on Okaloosa Island, and they used to work in the laundry room. And I used to hate that laundry room because it was always, I'm in Florida, so it's hot. So it's hot in the laundry room. Then they working in this hot laundry room, all the dryers going at one time. These are industrial dryers. These aren't like the small dryer in your house.
Right.
And they folding clothes, and I gotta be in this hot because my mama couldn't afford to have a babysitter. So I had to go to her job after school or after like daycare, daycare, like Head Start. And I would have to sit there with them, and I'm watching this, and I'm constantly, and what I'm getting at is I was constantly watching work. My uncles, you know what I'm saying? Like my uncles would take me sometimes when I used to live in Florida, they'd take me and say, hey, you want to come out here, we do landscaping, we do concrete, you come and help us and we'll pay you. And that was always the thing. It's like you were working and I was getting paid. So I'm learning this at a young age. So the one thing I say is like my story is hard work has never failed me. You know what I'm saying? There's a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. If you didn't read it, it's a very short read. It's beautiful. And one of the proverbs in The Richest Man in Babylon is what I see the director nod his head because you know what I'm talking about. He said, "What is it?" He said, "Work is your friend."
Yep.
Work would never. So there was a proverb, and there was a story about slaves. So they had to build this wall. If I'm correct, they had to build the wall, and in the story is about these 2 slaves, and one slave was like, "Man, I ain't trying to do all this." And then the other guy was like, "I'm just gonna work, man, because I can work. Maybe I can get favor if I can get favor." And what wound up happening? The guy who didn't want to really work, they worked him to death and got him up out of there. And they put him on the hardest thing. This other guy was like, "Look, I have a skill." He said, "You work hard." I said, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I have this skill." I think wasn't it a baker or something? Wasn't he a baker? He was a baker, and so he said, "I can bake." So somebody got him off of working that wall. I was like, "Oh, you're a baker." So he started working. He started baking for his master. He started making his master. So his master kind of started paying him. What happened? He bought his freedom. He bought his freedom, and he was like, and one thing he tried to tell the guy who was shirking all the work, acting like, "Oh, you don't have to work hard." He said, "No, work is your friend. Work has always been my friend." And for me, hard work has always been my friend. And so I grew up, if there's anything, like I said, and it wasn't always like, you know, everybody wasn't around me to nurture me and hold me. You know, I was a little ghetto kid. I was out doing, you know, I was a latchkey kid, come home, lock the door. So I grew up fast because I didn't really have a lot of guys. I had to learn to be independent. You know, I could damn near cook when I was a kid. When I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, man, I'm making my own breakfast in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But also, like, I can tell you about open up a box of cereal and there's bugs in it, and I don't even realize I'm eating a box of cereal with Raisin Bran, and there's bugs in there, and I don't realize it because I'm just thinking they raisins because I'm so hungry as a kid. I'm just eating the cereal, not realizing there's boll weevils in there. You know, like I hate ramen to this day because my mama used to say, look, we ain't got ramen in these hot dogs. And I was like, I don't even like I hate hot ramen. I hate ramen to this day because of that. Because sometimes that's all we had in the fridge. If we, but I was blessed to have something in there. You know, I've eaten ketchup sandwiches. I've eaten mayonnaise sandwiches. I've eaten cinnamon toast. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell me. There been times ain't nothing in the house but a little bread, little water. Like, you can't tell me about poverty. I'm from Southern poverty. I'm from where my grandmama and them, like, they so country. There was a time you could have goats and chickens. We had goats and chickens in the backyard. She grew a garden on the side of the house because, back in her day, they used to have the war gardens because when the war happened, they couldn't get all the vegetables.
Right.
Like I said, I didn't know what welfare was. I knew my grandmother, my daddy's mama, she'd get welfare, but my mama, I never knew what welfare was. My mama worked 2 jobs to make sure that we were never on welfare because my mama had enough pride to be like, look, I don't want to be on welfare. I'm not gonna see my children. My children are not gonna see me on welfare. So I don't even know what that is. Like, I grew up in poverty, but like I didn't really, from my end, like I never saw what welfare was. I never knew what welfare was. So I always saw hard work. So my story, like I know I went in a roundabout way, but my story is about hard work, and it's just about not giving up, and about also it's about growth. You know what I'm saying, and about a lot of accountability and a lot of reading, man. My mama had me reading early, so I would start going to school early. I could have graduated when I was 16. She wanted me. The only reason I didn't graduate when I was 16 was my mom wanted me to, because she never had a graduation. So I graduated. You know what I'm saying? So I went to graduation for her.
Nice.
I didn't want to go to. I was ready to get out of school.
That was a blessing.
Yeah. So I mean, the message, just hard work. You had to work hard at a very young age.
Yeah.
You saw loss at a very young age, but you had hard work instilled into you where you didn't run from it. You basically just you ran towards it and you embraced it, and you was like, man, if I work hard, I can get paid. So you graduated for your mother. That's a beautiful thing, by the way, G. Let's go deeper in, because now you know what hard work is, but you want your so I'm pretty sure you want your mama to stop working 2 jobs. You want to start paying back for getting me to this point. So what does Gates' journey look like from there? I know hard work is going to yield me the fruit. So I gotta get into something where I start bearing more fruit. What does that look like for you?
Well, first thing was my mom encouraged me. Me and my sister's dad didn't get along. Her ex-husband now, but so I went into the when I was in high school, I did like almost a year of college, and then I went into the military. I went into the Air Force. I signed up actually when I was 17. I had to re-sign my paperwork at 18 because I had to get permission from my mom to go into the military. Wow. So I think I was like 17, going on 18. I left home. I went into the Air Force. I did special ops 4 years. I went over to Operation Southern Watch, Desert Shield, and I did that. I got out after 4 years, right after Y2K. The next year, 9/11 happened. But by that time, I had got a special ops. My job was public affairs. My wartime job was like PsyOps and security. So from public affairs, which was like media, like journalism, television, radio, they teach you a little bit of all of that in there. I was going into journalism, the writing part. My mom had encouraged me to be a writer. Luckily, we were able to get my job in the military, which was hard to do as it was. And then so I did that. I learned it, and I got out, and I started working for the local newspaper. And I knew in '96 I knew I wanted to get into hip hop. So, I was messing around with the music. We built me and my friends built a little local record label. And like I said, I was also doing, because I kind of made the decision while I was in the military, I'm going to do music. And the crazy thing about it was I love my mom to death, but I remember I told my mom, I said, I'm going to do music. I'm going to get out of the military and do music. And she was like, I've never seen nobody win in the music game in my whole entire life.
Mm.
You know, and that's just another lesson. It's like sometimes the people that you love just can't. Like David Banner said it. His mom told him, like, and there's a great quote. She said, "God gave you the vision. Nobody else is gonna see your vision because God only gave it to you."
Mm-hmm.
So you can't be mad at somebody for not seeing your dreams and your goals because God gave you the vision.
Come on, G.
Not everybody else. So you have to believe God. That's the thing. You got to trust God.
Mm.
Like, don't trust man. Don't trust the word of man.
Mm.
Right. So, you know, my mom, even she just being my mom, you know, she wants me to be safe, wants me to have a good job and, you know, be stable and everything else.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, man, I'm going to do this music. So I was able to parlay my journalism skills into start working for some hip hop magazines like The Source, Murder Dog, Down Magazine, SOHH.com, which later on blossomed my whole career because I had the little local thing going, and I finally got in with the magazines, and that angle gave me a little clout. So I started being able to work with like regional music industry people from Atlanta, from Florida, from Mississippi, from New York, you know, just everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And my journey just went from there, man. From I think I got out of the military. I think I was 20. I wasn't even 21 yet, and I just took off from there with the journalism thing, and then it helped me parlay a lot of situations into, you know, helping with the music industry. So oddly enough, so I was doing the record label stuff, and I was using that to leverage me getting like features for my artists and stuff, for my little record label now, Manifest Music, and funny enough, a lot of Texas artists embraced us. So my boy Tum Tum out of Dallas, George Lopez.
Shout out to
DSR.
Tum.
So Tum is my guy, like Tum, Lil Ronnie. So George Lopez, you know,
G-Lo.
so G-Lo and all them, I helped Tum. I kind of helped Tum and G-Lo and them when they got their first deal. I was the guy, if you saw a lot of the publicity, I was the guy putting them in those positions.
Right.
So that's how I got known as, oh, like Greg got all the media contacts, you need to holler at Greg for stuff. But I had just believed in their music. And I was like, you know, me and Tum had got a good relationship. Funny enough was, so back in the day while I was doing the journalism thing, I was in the streets a little bit. And I gave Tum his first little, from what he told me. Tum, don't get mad at me if I'm telling the story wrong, but I think you told me, I know you told me this. I was the first time he had like some super high grade weed, this weed called Jack Herrera, right? Yeah. Which is now it's a common thing, but it's a weed called Jack Herrera, and I happened to get my hands on a nice little batch of it. And Tum was like, he had came to Fort Walton Beach. This is when they was coming out, going down I-10, just tearing everything up in I-10. They would go to, you know, Mobile, Pensacola, Panama, Fort Walton Beach. I was in Fort Walton Beach, and I gave him a first little bit of that. He was like, yo, this is the best weed I ever had in my life. Like, you know, Tum's like, yeah, bro, this is the best weed I ever had in mine. And I was like, after that, me and Tum just became, you know, good people. You know, we always stay locked in. I always stay locked in with G-Lo, him, and Tum and Lil Ronnie. And that was my that's one of my Texas guys. I got a lot of connections, especially with Texas guys. Yeah. You know, just doing the magazine. And you know, a lot of media contacts that later on helped me on in life. So, like I said, I started doing the music. I was working, and then, you know, like I said, I was messing around in the streets, and I kept getting these like situations where I had these artists that were like on the cusp of blowing up. Like one first situation, we had a deal with me and the other guys that fell out. I had an indie deal with Selecto Hits. Album never comes out. Holla at J-Dog. J-Dog was the one that set all that up too. Then I got another artist, a deal with Akon. He blows the deal at the last minute. So I kind of got done with artists. But oddly enough, while I was doing all this music stuff and all this street stuff and all this journalism stuff at the same time, a guy called me and wanted me to do some work for Gutter Gutter from Young Money.
Yeah. Shout out to Gutter Gutter.
Mm-hmm. So Gutter, so I was like, look, I don't do all this stuff no more. I don't do all that, you know, I don't do all the PR stuff no more. But I said, I'll do it for you because you're my people.
Mm-hmm. So what was one of the most, because like I know when we had breakthroughs in the career, you'd be like, man, I knew right then this is what I'm supposed to be doing going forward. What was one of those moments for you in that aspect?
there wasn't one. It's because I chose to do it, and I'm the type of person like if I put my mind,
You
to
gonna
something,
lock in 100%.
it's happening. If I tell you I'm a fly to the moon, you can stamp that.
Yeah.
Stamp
That's
that.
hard.
Dog. And I love when somebody tell me I can't do it.
You gonna move
I
anyway.
prove them wrong.
Right.
So yeah, so once I got locked in with Gutter, like, and it was on some random stuff because the guy who was managing him wound up, something happened, and he wound up disappearing, and I kept getting calls, and I'm like, yo, bro, like, hey man, these people are hitting you up about this verse or whatever. He's like, huh? And then so we got the business handled with that, and he was just like, yo, I'm gonna just start telling people you're my manager, and then we develop a lifelong like relationship, like we family now. So like, it's like my brother, like for real. So I got locked in with Young Money around like 2007, 2008. And so I was there for the whole climb. Like, you know, I watched Drake, I watched Nicki, I watched that whole situation. So I watched that and then, you know, I learned a lot from that situation. So, you know, from there, like, you know, it went on.
So a lot of ups and downs. I'm pretty sure. You know, because it's the music industry. That's one of the hardest industries to get in. So you're making all of these connections, man. You're making these great strides, and you know, I think we were talking about that earlier. A lot of people see the result, but they don't get to see what Gates had to go through as a person. You know, all of the failures, all of the no's. So like, how are you dealing with that? Like in the midst of, this is where I want to be, this is where I want to go, because you just dropped some major names. You know what I mean? Shout out to Tom Zilla. Shout out to my boy Tug. That's my guy. You know, we did a song together that never came out. Never dropped it.
They was playing that in the club. They was playing at the club last night.
Yeah. But I mean, it's got to be a lot of, you know, ups and downs with that. So I mean, what's Gates' mindset while going through that? So, you know, I can tell you, like, Selecto hits deal. Like, you got to understand, especially because I was young doing it. So I'm young, and I'm like, it's about to be on. We got our first deal with Selecto. That falls through, and it's just disheartening. You know what I'm saying? But also, it's like, that don't mean I give up. Like, that don't mean that life is over with. You know, we keep going. You learn the lesson, and you keep it moving. Like, music industry will eat you out and spit you up. You know, eat you out.
Chew you up and spit you out. Yeah.
Spit you out. So you have to just be strong. You have to be mentally be tough. And you have to really be humble. You have to be like observant. You have to be wise, because just a few missteps and it's over. Like, and it can be over fast. And most people cannot recover. You know what I'm saying? So you know, that was the first time. Then to deal with Akon, and this kid, like, I'm talking about, we are on the cusp. Akon saw some pictures, 3 pictures, and heard like, what was it? Say he saw like 3 pictures and heard like 3 or 4 songs, and was like, hey, and this was in the airport. My man called and said, yo, Con ready to sign him right now. He was like, all right. I was like, cool. So I was like, boom. And this is the goal. I'm setting the goal up. We get to the goal. We get there, and then I watch the dude say, no, I don't want to do this no more. Like, this is not what I want to do. I want to do it like this. Like, after I spent all this money, put you in position, got you in here, and like, this is one of my closest contacts. You know, the Con situation was one of my closest guys, right? And that just was like, all right. For a while, I was like, man, I don't want to deal with artists no more, you know, period. I'm just going to manage Gutter. Like, bro, like, I don't like rappers at this point. I don't like rappers. Like,
That'll run you hot too.
You know, so straight up. So, you know, the main thing, the mindset is, as they say, cliche, fail up, right? Learn from it, and then continue to go forward. Fail up. And then you got to understand, like, all that emotion that you got, now that emotion's gone. So now it's like, how do you build that emotion back up? What do you got? Like, and so you start to learn little things. You start to learn the music industry. You know, your phone is only ringing when you pop it. Right. When you're not popping and your artist is not popping, your phone starts ringing. You got to learn to stop taking stuff. Like with me, like, I'm just a very loyal person, and I'm a very
loyal.
You know, I'm a very like straight up person, because I don't have time for the games. Because like I don't have to brown nose. I don't have to kiss anybody's butt. You know, I don't have to do all that to make it. I know I'm so confident in myself. Like, you know my story, so you know I'm not asking for no handout. I'm not even asking for a hand up. Like, if you don't give it to me, I'm gonna climb the wall myself. I'm gonna figure it out, bro. Like, and that's one of the main things I've had to learn in life. Is like, you just gonna have to figure it out, dog. Like, ain't nobody coming to save you. Ain't nobody coming out of the sky. Ain't nobody throwing no cape on and coming to save your ass. Especially no black man.
Right.
So, you better figure it out. You better get in them books. You better read. You better network. You better do whatever you got to do. You know, but also you don't have to compromise your integrity. And that's one of the things. That's one of the things I'm happiest most with is that I've not compromised my integrity to get where I'm at right now. And but you're gonna take the long way if you don't, because everybody's looking for that easy way to get it. And the one thing is if it's easy to get, it's gonna be easy to get taken away, or it's gonna be easy to lose. So I'd rather take the stairs every time, dog. Every time. I take the stairs every time, bro, before I take that elevator. Because the elevator gonna cost you, dog. And it will go up fast, gonna come straight down on that elevator. But if you take the stairs, if you take the stairs up, know what you're probably gonna do? You have to take the stairs down. So if you take the stairs down, it take a long time to get down 50 flights of stairs.
Right.
But boy, you get on them express elevators, but what they gonna do? You go right back down. And, you know, I've been there. I've been in the hole where, you know, I've been up, and then I've been down to like literally homeless.
Yeah.
And you know, that was from, you know, accountabilities. It's from me not being prepared for the moment that things flip, because I'm young thinking this is gonna last forever.
Right.
And that's one of the greatest lessons you learn. Like the rent is due every day. Every day.
Not just on the first.
Not just on the first. The rent is due every day, dog. And, if you're not doing something to better yourself, if you're not doing something for your business, you know, one, your competition is probably doing something. Second of all, you know, you just leaving out, you know, like, why are you comfortable? Like, what is your goals in life, right? So if your goal, like most young black men right now who probably gonna watch this, like, oh, I want to take care of my mom, you know, or my mom, my dad, I want to buy a house, I want to buy a car. Then what are you buying Jordans for? What are you eating Grubhub for?
Gee.
What are you eating Grubhub for? What are you, like, is that really your goal, or is that some shit you just saying because it sounds cool and that's what you're supposed to say? Like, you know, I'm not bragging, but like, my life is really like that. And I'm comfortably poor, dog. I'm comfortably poor.
Explain that though.
See people thinking like, oh man, you know, cause like, you know, I signed Mexican OT and I blew him up, and they think like, oh, it's all this money. And I keep trying to tell people, I said, yo, I just started making more money now. I'm just now making more money than I did when I was in the streets. So that should tell you something. And I said, I went down, I got in a situation where I had to sit down, and by the time I came out, I was homeless and I had $200 in my bank account. And I'm literally like trying to figure it out. So when somebody talk about being homeless, when I met you, I had told you, I was like, yo, I went from being home to literally, God bless my girl, Ty St. Louis. I was sleeping on my girl, Ty St. Louis couch. Is my homegirl. And because of basically the friendship I had built with her over the years, and I know when she was going through a tough time, you know, and I'm not bragging, I chunk a little change, something like that, like, oh, you know, and it's small stuff, you know, I take her out to eat because I know what she was going through, and I'm from the gutter, I'm from being poor, so I don't ever want to see nobody like that. So, you know, I was the dude in the neighborhood, I'd be passing out money to the kids and stuff, hey, stay in school, stuff like that. So I had $200 in my bank account and had nowhere to stay. And she let me stay there, and I just had to learn to figure it out. You know, and I had to, like, I asked God, what do you want me to do? I said, you want me to go home to my mom? And this is in my 30s, bro. This is not like when I'm young in my 20s. Yeah. For most of my 20s, I was balling, like the whole time. Matter of fact, all of my 20s, I was balling the whole time. Like, matter of fact, it's into my 30s. So I tell people like this money that you have, like this money that I have now, this is nothing. This is comfortably poor. Like, I tell people a lot of times, like, I want to fly private jets every day. I want a yacht, and I don't have to worry about the cost of the yacht. I want to make sure, like, my family has generational wealth and generational legacy. And so, what am I doing to get it? Like, if you see, I ain't got no Rolex on, I got no Cartier on, I got no jewelry on. I can afford that. Yeah. I can afford it. I can afford the real stuff. Not them lab stones y'all wearing. Not them lab stones y'all wearing.
All right, shout out to Manhattan.
The $50, you know, diamond. You can buy a lab diamond and have a fight. No, we're talking about the GI certified.
GI certified paperwork.
Coming with paperwork. They come out the ground, dog.
Yeah.
Coming out the ground. Fruity Pebbles. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Fred Flintstone.
Fruity Pebbles. Like I can do all that. I can, you know, like I can afford, you know, Gucci, Louis, all of that. I can afford to, you know, buy the big boy cars, you know, all that stuff. But my goals are bigger than that. And I lived it. So I lived the life. Like I lived all of that. Like, you know, I was around BMF. I'm seeing them. You know, I was there. I was part of the throw money era. I was part of that. You know, I had partners, you know, going in clubs, spend like no lie, 50, 60. You know, I didn't shoot, like no lie, I didn't shoot strokers down. Going at 7 o'clock, don't leave till 2 o'clock. I got half the girls in the club in my VIP section. They gotta escort me out. When they escorting me out, they telling me, hey man, these dudes see you throw so much money, bro, they trying to rob you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop all the traffic so you can get out, get on the highway, get up out of here. He said, go on about it, bro. They said they didn't like what you was doing in there. Cause I had half the girls in the strip club in my VIP section.
That's
You know,
yeah.
like I lived.
You started a war.
Bro, I didn't even know. I'm just having a good time.
Yeah.
I lived it. And
boy say, I don't like that shit.
yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So I lived it. So like this the money, like if you're not doing stuff, like if you don't have life insurance, if you don't have assets, if you don't have savings, if you don't have a retirement plan, if you don't have a proper structure for where that money is gonna go and how it's gonna go, like you don't really have anything. You know, like that hood rich street money. Like I done ran around 5-10 in my pocket at all times. I used to run around. I needed $1,000 in my pocket at all times in case somebody come up to me trying to sell me something, and I wanted to buy it on the spot. You know, I done watched Birdman and them. You know, he used to have a dude just carry a bag full of money for him. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen all that. I've been in that era. I've seen the extra philosophy stuff, and that's cool. But is the bag secure first? Is the life secure first? Is the family secure first?
Come on, G.
You know, because you're gonna have a run, but you might have that run, and your run might be over. And what do you have left? It ain't what you made. It's what you kept. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about
that's a bar right there.
It's like if you look at it, and then for me, it just made it even more clear. It's like when I saw, like when I was like, because I was young thinking about retirement, like because I was like, yo, I don't want to be the age that I am now and be like, oh, I'm just now retiring and I got to go start another job and then I can go on 2 weeks of vacation. I can afford it. I wanted my pleasures on earth now. So,
heaven on earth. Right?
Heaven on earth right now. And
that's hard to see there.
And when I started looking at retirement, because I was in the military, they used to have a financial advisor. I went to the financial advisor and listened to. He was like, "Oh, your retirement plan." And one of the things he brought up, which made sense and drove me crazy, it was like, "Yo, when you get to retirement, you're not going to be making the same amount of money that you were making before, so you're going to have to cut back your expenses." I'm like, "What?" Hold on. I was like, "No, I like my life.
Yeah.
I like my life. Like, I like what I do. I like how I live. So, hold on, you gotta tell me I gotta cut back." Yeah. And that's when I kind of had to realize, like, oh yeah, I gotta go run a big bag up, because there's no way that I want to stop living the life that I'm accustomed to living. Right. So if I like, you know me, like I like going to nice restaurants.
I was just about to
I
say
like to travel. I like nice hotels. You know, like I said, I don't have all the jewelry and stuff, but you know, I said I was never gonna buy a Rolex until I paid my mama house off. Buy my mama house. So I don't have a Rolex. I don't have a big chain. I can go get a big chain. I can go, like I said, I can get the big boy diamonds, all that. You know what I'm saying? But why would I do that? And my priorities aren't in order. And I do get it. Like, I still have some things that I need to do, but the way I'm looking at money and the way other people are looking at money is two different types of ways. To me, a few million is comfortably poor. Like, if you can go to LA, and I think it's 200,000-300,000 is the equivalent to 100,000. Same thing in New York, right? So $1 million in LA is only $500,000. Yeah. So you look at the inflation. Like, so if I can't go to, think about it. If you can go to LA and get a house that is for $1 million, but it's only really a $500,000 or less house because of the property values and how your money is and the taxes. Right. Like, you're not really living. Like, I didn't work this hard to live average. I didn't work this hard to say, okay, I can take a vacation now once a year, and then I gotta chill out, and I gotta make sure I count my pennies. Like, nah, I refuse to put myself in that position. You know, I refuse to put myself in that position. It's like, and you can do it, and that's the thing I tell people, you can do it. I did it myself. I've helped other people do it, like you've helped other people do it, right? So it's like, why would you? Why? I don't want to, like, you know, be making $100,000 a year. Now I gotta only spend $50,000 a year because I'm retired.
Right.
Like that's not the goal, bro.
I love what you said too, because on the wealthy hours, I heard multiple things. Because number one, I'm gonna add this: we, as black men, when we come up in poverty, you grew up the same way I did. We grew up poor. I was in the projects, and my grandfather was a sharecropper. And one thing I heard you say was, like, we first generation. When you break through that, number one is a miraculous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you had a vision to say, hey, I'm gonna try this and see where it takes me. And once you do that, then you trying to figure it out on the fly. And I tell anybody, I was like, well, how'd you get this? I said, you want me to tell you the truth? It was math. Because when you finally get the literacy side of it, it's like, okay, I know how to get money, but what are you doing with that money? Like you said, you throwing that 50 ball, 60 ball over time. Some people don't catch that until later. And then now you over here 40, 50, and they're like, dang, what I did with this money, and you just don't know. But once you understand it, though, it's good you caught it early, because people don't know about the insurance side, the trading side, having your money working for you instead of going to get that rolly and all of that stuff, man. So it's a blessing to hear how you evolve, because evolution is necessary, man, and especially in our community. And now with technology, bro, we really ain't got no excuse. Because if somebody tell you early and you disregard that, I always say now, that blood ain't on my hands. At least I gave you that input right here. Say, hey man, I see where you headed. You might want to sit something right here, because like you said, you can go up really fast and you can hit that bottom really fast. Yeah. I've seen people do it, man, that had more money than me in one season, and then I just stayed consistent with what I had. Like you said, I took them stairs. Now that I see them, it tripped me out, because I was like, man, I just seen no dude pushing a Bentley. Now you asking, hey man, you think you can loan me this, and this? And I'm like, what? Yeah. But like I said, watching you and other people that was in that field, I seen how deadly it can be too. It can be one of the most powerful tools, or it can be a deadly weapon.
All that shit is an illusion, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's all an illusion. Like all the the entertainment industry is an illusion. The streets is an illusion, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and anybody watching this, bro, like, believe in yourself enough that you're not gonna risk your life and crash out over some temporary stuff. Like,
stuff you think that's real.
Yeah, so right, now everybody's starting to see all this stuff going on in the music industry.
Man.
Everybody, all this street code is just disappearing. Right? That was always an illusion. That was an illusion a lot of times. Like, it's always been treacherous. You know what I'm saying? The streets have always been treacherous. This shit has always been Game of Thrones. Right? As now people are starting to come out and be a reality, because now people, it's so easy to expose people for everything. And I'm like, bro, I personally don't even care, because once I understand, bro, I've watched dudes be on the phone with other dudes, and dudes like, oh, you a rat, you a snitch. He's like, oh, well, you need to be snitching too, so you can find you a way home. And I'm looking around at everybody else, and they just acting like this is normal. And I'm like, I said, oh, let me get up out of here.
Yeah, real
you know
talk.
what I'm saying? But then that's when you start to understand. It's like, oh, this is just, like there are rules where people ain't playing by them. The rules like the government. The rules are there for y'all. The rules ain't really there for us. The rules is there for y'all.
It's a place for y'all.
Yeah, for y'all.
Yeah.
So y'all can do that, but we gonna be over here now, and you see it all the time. Like, now they finding everybody paperwork, and I was like, personally, I don't even care. I said, bro, because if you look at it at the end of the day, bro, you can look at 1,000 interviews where people have worked for the cartels, and the cartels have said, hey, I want you to tell on this guy. Or on the other hand, I've seen guys who sat there, stayed down, stayed solid, didn't do nothing, come home to nothing. Like, come home to nothing. So it's like, for me, the streets, like when they said, I knew the streets was dead a long time ago. And I told people that, I said, hey man, leave the streets alone.
You know, undefeated.
Like, I remember talking to my little cousin one time, I said, cuz, I don't even touch nothing white no more. And he was like, nothing. And I was like, yo, just do this. And now he breed dogs, and he's one of the top dog breeders. And it's crazy. Like, now he found his passion, and he's successful.
Right.
He had some help along the way, but at the same time, I know what type of dude he was, and he was heavy in the streets. Yeah. So, like you said, the assets and the investments and knowing and having that knowledge is what's going to don't sell yourself short. You don't have to be in the streets in order to make money, dog.
Man,
You
I'm
have to
telling
believe in yourself, and you have to understand you got to take the steps
Yeah.
and the stairs, bro.
Yeah.
You taking that elevator is dangerous, bro. Like I said, the same way you go up is the same way
you fall down.
I'm a testament. I watched my uncle do 18 and a half years in prison, bro. You know what I'm saying? I watched him. I was a child when last time I saw him, and I would have to go visit him in prison, and that was a normal thing to me. And I thought it was just the coolest thing. And now I look at it, I said, man, that's crazy. I was visiting my uncle in prison. I remember one time they damn near strip searched me. I was a kid because I was wearing overalls with metal on them. So I had to take them. They made me take my pants off. My overalls off so I walked through the metal detector and they was like, oh, it's the overalls. I was like, yeah, I know these metal buttons is on here, but they didn't care. And that's what I'm saying is like, like the streets is a trick, bro. Like you don't have to do it. You just have to. The thing is, you have to work hard and you have to have the mental strength and endurance to understand that. Okay, yeah, we eating beans and rice, or we eating ramen noodles, and I got to work 2 or 3 jobs, but you can make it out. And 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna tell you this, especially people who see hard workers, they want to keep hard workers, and that work is gonna help you get to where you need to go. Because when I came home, there was a gentleman by the name of Daryl Schuler. I told you my mentor. The only mentor I've ever had in my life. I didn't get my mentor until I was in my 30s. And he's a master chef. He's one of the only black master chefs in the whole entire world, in America specifically. He was the first black master chef ever. Right? 20 culinary Olympic gold medals. So when I came home, I went to culinary school, and he took me up under his wing and changed my whole life. And it wasn't necessarily, the cooking was part of it, because I went to culinary school. I'm a classically trained chef, but also the mentality.
Right.
So I started working with him, and he took me under his wing. Like there's nothing I could do for him. I'm just a broke ghetto kid, come home from the pen, and he saw my work ethic. And I told you that's why work is your friend.
Yes.
He saw my work ethic. He took me under his wing. So I'm not understanding how much he's the head of culinary for Le Cordon Bleu. So you have to understand that when Le Cordon Bleu was open, he was the head of the culinary, me all over the United States.
Oh wow.
I could do nothing for him. There's nothing I could do. I heard a speech from him one time and it blew my mind. He said, I've done everything I can possibly do to secure my family's future, and that hit me like a ton of bricks. Because I was like, first of all, somebody like that, you're thinking about something greater than yourself, but also to have that kind of leadership and say, hey, I've done everything. That's the Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan mentality. I've done everything I can possibly do to be a champion. He is the man. Like, people don't become master chefs. Most people can't even do, the test is 8 days of cooking. You fail 2 components, you fail the entire test. It's $10,000 every time you take the test. You only get to take the test twice. He passed it on his first go, and he was the 3rd highest scoring chef ever.
Wow.
Like, there's only one other black master chef, and he taught him too. So there's only 2 in America, and one of them's my mentor.
Wow.
And it's so funny. It's a full circle. So y'all talk about this jacket. This is holla my boy Eugene for getting this from the Braves. The reason I have this is it's an Usher All-Star Game jacket, right?
Wow.
Chef Schuler, when he saw my work ethic, he said, come on. He took me out of class one day. And I said, where are we going? He said, I'm going to show you. He took me to Usher's house.
Wow.
And I went and cooked for Usher. Usher don't even, I got the picture too. Usher don't even remember to this day. Like, it's so funny because his brother, what it was, his Chef Schuler, Usher's mom was managing Chef Schuler. And he had to do this private dinner for Usher. So I'm trying to cut this bread. I'm not cutting it in perfect cubes. Like, they gotta be perfect. Everything gotta be perfect. And he started yelling at me in the kitchen in front of Usher and all of that. And he's like, what are you doing? But what it also made me mentally tough, but also it made me understand, like, he's not cutting me any slack because I'm one of his pupils and he's taking me under him. He's gonna ride me because he cares. And he demands perfection. He's like to me, he's like Michael Jordan or Kobe or like LeBron when it comes to food. Like, he's that guy. Like, when I mean he's that guy, like Michelin star level stuff. He brought me out. I cooked for Usher. Usher's little brother at one time wanted to be a chef. And so his brother's like, yeah, man, maybe want to be like you. And I'm like, bro, you Usher's brother. Plus, you gotta remember, I'm like, yo, you taking me to Usher house. It felt kind of weird too, because I'm like, I was in the music industry, now I'm cooking. So it looked like I feel like, I'm feeling like I don't belong here, like I failed. But it wasn't. It was just the next step. So we took a picture with Usher. I still got that picture to this day. And it was so funny. And then let's fast forward. I get OT, blow him up, and then I go to the Usher residency in Las Vegas, and now I'm watching him perform, and I'm like, man, I was at his house when I was, out cooking for him, and now I'm like, and it's crazy. And then my man Eugene, he's head of cultural diversity at cultural marketing and diversity at the Braves. I was like, hey, Eugene, I need one of those, and I sent him the money for it. We got and he sent it, and like now I'm wearing Usher stuff, and then but like and Usher is a part of that
full moment.
A full circle moment is like he's part of that story.
That's not God, bro. I don't know what it is. Right. Man, if that's not God, I don't know what it is. And I'm just listening to your story, and that's why I'm just blessed to have you on, because it's like you're in the music industry, you heavy, you're dealing with the heavyweights. Life happens, right? And then you come out, and then you get a mentor with a chef, right? And you go to Usher's house, and you're cooking for Usher's house, and you're seeing all of these things. But guess what? The music flashes right back in your face. The industry is right there. You're in the one of the biggest, if not the, it's debatable. They do the Usher and Chris Brown.
Top five dead alive.
But for me, for me, Usher. You know what I'm saying? Like the top R&B artist ever. You know what I mean? And the music's flashing in your face, and then you have Usher's little brother say, man, I'm gonna be a chef. Woo. And then something clicks inside of you. That God voice inside of you says, I'm jumping back in the music game. And then you sign, let me not say that. But you start working with, or you help develop and cultivate one of the biggest hip hop acts in Texas.
Yeah, I signed OT, and that was like, and I didn't even want to sign him. Like, I was like, bro, I don't want to deal with artists. You know what I'm saying? I was good dealing with producers, but it just kind of happened. You know what I'm saying? And it was just God. I had the right connections from all the years and all that hard work I was telling y'all. All the networking while everybody else was partying. I was up here, they trying to mess with all the girls in the music industry. I'm trying to make connections. What do you do? How can I help you? How can I help you build your career?
Taking the steps. So like when I walked into Texas and started working OT, I already had all the plugs. So I literally was just making phone calls, and it was just like, people were like, all right, I'm gonna do this for you because I know you, Greg, from back in the day, whatever. And, I just think it's a blessing that God gave me a second opportunity, because God don't give a lot of second opportunities to people. And a lot of people don't understand, like, you can disrespect your blessings, and God will give, if God gives you the talent, He's not gonna take the talent away from you. But I saw this, a pastor said this, your impact will lessen because of you're disrespecting your blessing. So the impact of your talent won't be as impactful as it should be. Right. And so I've always been aware of that, so I don't disrespect my blessing. I don't take these things for granted. I don't let success lull me into a sense of security. Say that again.
I don't let success lull me into a sense of security. All this can be taken away from you. At the height of my music career in my early 30s, I was watching my a hit record that I got placed with Wayne while I was mopping the floor in the common room, the day room in the county jail.
Wow.
And I remember they told me, said, Greg, man, Wayne, keep rapping your song. You keep rapping your song. And I'm like, which one you talking about? And they're like, man, bro, I don't know. I don't even know what he's calling it. Then I hear, doom, 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 doom. Because it was on when he came home from prison. Wayne was coming out, was going in. So now he coming out. So now I'm missing all of this. I'm watching him rap my song on MTV. Remember when they used to do MTV Uncut? Unplugged. MTV Unplugged. MTV Unplugged. He did a special where he performed. He performed like he was like getting ready for Carter 4, and he performed all his hits when he came home, and then he said, "Oh, this is gonna be from the Carter 4," and he performed my song, and I'm watching this. So just imagine you waking up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. The only reason they're gonna turn the TV on is it says somebody clean up their room. I'm like, all right, I'm already up, so I'm gonna start cleaning it up. So I start cleaning it up. So they let me put it on. I put it on MTV, and then I watch it. I say, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm watching. I'm like, everything I had worked for up to that point, like this was supposed to be my coming of age. This is supposed to be like all the work that I had done over since 1996 to this point to 2011. And I'm watching it, and I can't even enjoy it. And then people don't even believe oh man, he lying, but it's cool. So then once the pictures come, they're like, oh, you not lying. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, because once they got the pictures, like, because, you get locked up, they say you can be all you can be.
Mm-hmm.
So you can be anybody in there. But then, once the proof starts coming out, then it was like, and so they seeing it and like, oh, you for real? And so I'm watching this. So that's why I say your blessings can be taken away. God will get you, he already got the plan for you, but if you're trying to speed up the plan or slow the plan down or whatever, no, you got to do it in his time and his way, and understand it. Like, yo, you trying to interfere with his plan is only gonna hurt yourself. It happens in his time, and just like how I met Chef Schuler, I wasn't even supposed to be it. I was broke. I was broke. I had $5 to get to culinary school, so I had $5 to get there to sign up. I said, hey, take this $5, I could go to Willie's Cantina and get some hot dogs. I mean some tacos. And he said, and I said, God, what do you want me to do? I said, otherwise I'm gonna have to stay at Todd's house and I'm gonna have to just make something here. But when I come back, God said, go to culinary school, go sign up for culinary school. Right. So I literally had to I had to walk 1.5 miles, get on a bus, a train, another bus, which was $2.50. I had $5 in my pocket. That's all the money I had in the world.
Wow.
I get there, guess what's there at the culinary school at Le Cordon Bleu? Hors d'oeuvres. So I'm tearing the hors d'oeuvres up. Yeah. Then I hear Chef Schuler speak. I said, okay, I'm signing up for culinary school. I signed up for culinary school, and then $2.50 got me back. And I walked out on faith, and then everything else fell into place because I was in alignment with what God wanted, but also I was in alignment. But I also made the change where I'm gonna stay out the streets, because as soon as I got home, people was calling like, I know you got it. If anybody got it, you got it, Greg. And I said, damn, let me be free for 2 weeks.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, dog, bro, like this the phone call I get. Yeah. this the phone call. This the phone call I get.
Wow.
It's not, hey, I'm glad you home. Whatever. No, like, hey, bro, I know you got it. Yeah. Like people really thought I had like they thought I had, no lie, that people thought I had like money probably buried in the ground somewhere. Like Nip, you know. And one time I did. But
truth be told,
but
I digress.
It runs out, my friend. It runs out, my friend, and it ran out over that time. So, like I said, it's like it made me understand, like, because all the stuff that was happening in culinary school, because I didn't know how to cook nothing other than what the little bit of stuff that my mama taught me how to cook, was like bacon and eggs. I didn't even know how to boil eggs. I had forgotten. I had forgotten how to boil eggs. So, and this is so funny because I did it while I was locked up. I was in the kitchen, and that's where my culinary journey actually started. Was in the kitchen when I was locked up.
Wow.
And then I went from there, and then I culinary school, and the rest is history, man. And then, like I said, like I walked out on faith because I was like, I'm gonna be starving. I'm gonna have to drink some water, get home, and then maybe I holler at Ty. Maybe we can I'll throw something together. I didn't. I listened to God. I said, God, what do you want me to do? He said, I want you to stay in Atlanta. I want you to go to culinary school. I don't want you to go back to Nevada. I don't want you to go back to Las Vegas and stay with your mom. He said, I got you. I said, well, God, if this is what you want, I'm gonna believe you, and I'm gonna trust you. And I trusted him, and I did the hard. That's what I'm saying. I did the hard work. I made sure, like I told you, I walked 1.5 miles just to get to the bus stop, to get on a bus, to get on another bus, to get on the train, to get on another train, to get on another bus just at the culinary school. Bro. I was over by, if you don't believe me, anybody from that, ask about how far Cumberland Mall is from the old Le Cordon Bleu. And they ain't gonna tell you how long it is.
I believe you too, because man, people don't understand that season you go through. You go through a season, man, you get to telling people that, oh, you lying. Like, no, bro, that's part of the process.
No, that's part of the process. Like.
And G, I want to say this though. I don't even want to cut you off. I want to say this because, and I hope everybody's catching these nuggets.
Man,
number one I heard was hard work, but the thing that I'm hearing that I hope everybody is catching is your level of belief.
Self-belief, man.
Bro, your level of belief in this space in your life and everything you've been through has been relentless. Yeah. It's been relentless. And everything that you went through, you had your highs, you had your ups, you had all of these things, but you mix belief with hard work. And then, because even in the beginning, where you said, I'm gonna always bet on me. Like, let somebody tell me that I can't mop the ocean. Watch me mop the ocean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, just as we bring this to a close and just giving these words of encouragement, I mean, and like I said, I always love your story, man, and that's why I say, bro, you just, like I said, you just a brother, and you're a blessing to have. One thing I heard was this: the rules don't apply to the people that make them. That was huge. The rules don't apply to people that make them. So I'm telling everybody out there, don't fall or don't succumb to the rules that people are making, because they're not abiding by the rules. Make your own lane, trust God, and mix it with hard work, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Mix it with a ridiculous work ethic, bro, because that's what you've had all throughout your career. You've had a ridiculous, sickening work ethic, and it's just been absolutely a blessing to hear. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we give you these words of encouragement, just know that it's possible. You just heard the highs and the lows. Don't, understand that it takes time, but understand, and you gotta know that it's gonna happen. Because even with Greg, even when he pulled away and went other directions, you can tell that it kept pulling them back in. So when you're working and you're working on your dreams and you're working on your goals, take the stairs, don't take the elevator. And then on top of that, when they're making the rules, I always tell people, I break rules, I don't break laws. You know what I mean? Because laws are hard to break. So you're going to always find me as a habitual rule breaker, but I'm never going to break the laws. So take the stairs when you're working hard, because hard work pays, but also just know that it's going to happen. See what you got. We're going to close it with G.
I love it with that, man. I always say, move like you're not exempt. When I heard his story, looking over mine as well, I tell people that, man, you got to have that level of discipline. You got to have that level of hunger too, because when you go through that season, what I heard as he was going, it was faith, it was hunger, literally. And I've been in that situation. I was working at a Luby's one time, and this guy was deaf, and we throwing food away, and I'm starving. I kept looking. I'm like, shoot, I'm finna eat that, because it was clean. You got that the culinary, and he know about this too. When you're doing food, that temperature sits so long, after that you have to throw it away, because somebody eat it and get sick, you can be sued. Right. I was back there eating. So I tell people, move like you're not exempt. Understand too, like with tech now, it's really, I ain't gonna say it's easy, but I will say this: learn how to move with the right people, because now, back then it was the old fashioned way, which still works, is take the stairs. But it's easier now if you got a pack of y'all and y'all going down the same road. If y'all going down the same road, y'all got the same hunger, the same drive, one of y'all gonna take off first. And here's where my Jew come back in. When you serve, you get what you deserve. I served my way up to where I'm at, bro. Me out doing these networking deals. People thought I was crazy, but I kept going, because something in my spirit said, if you keep going right here, you're gonna hit soon. But don't stop because you listening to a fool. And then the encouragement I tell people, stop sharing your vision with blind people. They can't see it no way. If that's your vision, you rather have your vision than no vision, and graduate to provision. If you don't get that provision, you're gonna let somebody kill your blessing because you didn't even try it. You got to get out here and do the work too. That's why I tell people, do the work. When you do the work, you get the results. It's like you can't mow a yard and just think like, okay, the grass ain't gonna keep up. No, you got to put it together, put your fuel in there. Now, whether it's an 80-volt battery or what, you just go do the work. Don't be afraid to do the work, and whatever dream is in you, it can come true. The question is, will you do it?
And you got to know that you got to cut the grass again.
Oh,
brother.
I promise you. The work pays off. The problem is, will you do the work so you can get the payout?
Yeah, and as I pass it to G, I mean, I just got to say that you just said it, the vision. Some people can stare at the sun and still don't see the light. Bro, you know what I'm saying, G? Some people can stare at the sun and still don't see the light. And that's why I wanted to bring you on, because your story, bro, I mean, it needs to be a Netflix special.
I promise you, man. The whole movie.
And because it's funny, because when people be like, oh, man, no, I've seen it. I've seen your growth, man. And I just want to give you your flowers publicly on this. So, I mean, from the artists you work with, from the people you talk to the people you want to impact, just give us those words of encouragement. Tell them what it takes.
First of all, self-belief. Belief in something higher than yourself, something greater than yourself. That's the first thing. Second thing is, overnight success takes 10 years. I can tell you how I got my bag the first time. It was almost 10 years. I think it was like 8. And then the second time I got my bag, it took me 7. And that's only because I knew majority of the steps to take. I would say this, man, you're gonna go through it. you not, like he said, you're not exempt. You're gonna suffer, man, and you got to be able to be mentally tough, have intestinal fortitude to stand on your morals and values, and understand just because somebody else do it, especially for these kids and these guys in the streets, just because somebody else is doing it, that's the easy way, don't mean that you got to do it. And usually when you get it, like I said, you get it fast, you lose it fast. But if you build a solid foundation, you can rise to the top and without it, and you can usually stay there longer, man. So just believe in yourself, dog, and you don't have to compromise your integrity to win, dog. You know.
Absolutely. Well, with that being said, man, it's a wrap. G, again, been an absolute blessing for you to come and bless the Wealthy Hours podcast. We want to thank y'all for tuning in and locking in. Man, if y'all want to get at G, man, y'all got any questions, man, hit him up on IG, Greg Gates 850. Man, he's not a stranger. He's a guy that shows great humility. And I'm pretty sure that, he'll have more to share with y'all. But other than that, I always want to thank my partner in crime, Cadero, the chosen one, for locking in with us. Y'all tune in next time where we're going to have more gems and we're going to have more heat for y'all, man. Wealthy is the hour, but a wealth of knowledge is power.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned.
Let's go.
All right, salute.